Bob Arum, obviously you've seen all the great Mexican warrior fights of all time. I mean, I know today we had Morales and Barrera here, but Navarrete Valdez certainly lends itself. I mean, these guys are all offense. Again, we've seen them sustain knockdowns, broken jaws, and come back fighting and winning bouts. What are you expecting Saturday night in Glendale, Arizona?
I think it's going to be a war because, and I'm not, promoters always say, hey, it's going to be a war. And so this is going to be a war. I'm basing it on the prior fights that each of them have had, many of which I promoted, because Oscar never quits. He's always in a war. And Navarrete is like a full-time action machine.
Exactly.
So, I'm really looking forward to this fight.
Do you think it benefits? I think Valdez has been through the tougher wars. Maybe Navarrete hasn't been tested as thoroughly as Oscar Valdez has. Is that an advantage for Oscar, or does that mean that Navarrete is fresher?
I don't think it means anything. I think it means nothing because Navarrete showed when he got knocked down in his last fight and he got up, like it never affected him. I just think that these are Mexican guys, and they're just, you remember those Morales-Barrera fights?
Incredible.
One guy would knock the other across the ring, and the other guy would come back.
Yes, we've seen so many of them. You've got to be so excited for this one. What else is going on with Top Rank? I mean, you've got the Tyson Fury fight that you're working with.
Yeah, we lost the fight. Unfortunately, boxing, the guy was injured, Betabia, but that fight's been rescheduled for January. We have a great card coming up in Tulsa at the end of the month. And then we're going to start building for the fall. I think we have September 15th, we have a great featherweight fight in Corpus Christi. We're going to do a big fight the week of the Formula One in Las Vegas.
What's that going to be?
What?
What's that going to be?
We're working on the best possible matchup. There's a lot of things in flux. And then the big fight in Madison Square Garden, the Heisman, and we have a big role to play October 28th for Fury and Nagano, and in the meanwhile, we're going to bring boxing fans two great heavyweight matches on ESPN Plus. Usyk against Dubois on the same day as our big heavyweight triple header. So that's going to be, I think, a signature event. And then the fight I'm going to love is the Chinese fighter Zhang against Joyce. That the rematch. We've arranged to do that fight, put that on. So it's going to be a busy fall, which is a period which is usually not as busy because of the football.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of work to do.
Couple things. Teofimo Lopez, when is his next fight going to be, and against who?
Well, we don't, I talked to Teofimo. He's got to get his head into it. And we want him definitely to fight this year, maybe on the Heisman night. And the logical opponents would be either Ramirez or Barboza. And we'll see which one makes the most sense.
You can make it with Barboza even though he's left the company now.
Barboza called me yesterday
to say
and his father for me to make that fight.
Okay, great.
So I would assume I can make it, right? If I want.
He's back in the fold.
Well, I don't say he's back in the fold, but again, I mean, there is no animosity when somebody's contract runs out. It's like any sport, and he's a free agent.
Yeah.
He looks for the best deal possible, and Barboza was no different. I mean, when he fought under the top-ranked banner, he was no trouble, and he was always available, and he acquitted himself well.
Shakur Stevenson, what's he going to do next?
Well, again, let's see. We're going to get the best possible opponent. If it's not Lomachenko, it'll be somebody else, and he'll be fighting for the lightweight title. And I look at Shakur as being a fighter who, in my mind, based on ability, is right up there at the top of the pound-for-pound best fighters.
Absolutely, and can actually really stamp that to a higher level by beating someone like Loma.
Absolutely.
That would be a perfect fight for that F1 weekend that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Is it possible?
But I don't do the fighting. I mean, you know, Loma is in a situation different from fighters here in the United States. The Russians are bombing a city which is 10 kilometers from where he lives, and so obviously that's going to affect him, you know, and affect his family. So again, I mean, Loma's for me one of my heroes, one of the guys that I really love, and he's going to do, as a true professional, what he has to do.
Last thing, heavyweights have kind of lost some momentum this year, but do you think in 2024 all these guys will get together and bring this division right back to where it has been?
Well, I think so. I think, look, everybody's in action for the rest of the year.
True.
And we have these great young heavyweights that we're putting on. You know, they come from all over the world. I'm very excited for the guy who won the Olympic gold medal, Julaf. He's going to be on August 26th. So it's a very exciting time for the heavyweights.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Bob. Have a great fight Saturday night.
Thank you.